Good evening and welcome to The Hive, live in Rossville, Indiana, here on the ISC Sports Network. It is IHSAA girls volleyball action. The Carroll Cougars come to town to take on the Rossville Hornets. Joined by Laura Archibald, I am Sean Walker, and we appreciate you for joining us as we welcome you into our Day in Genda Funeral Home pregame show, putting family first. And Laura, the other night we got to see these Rossville Hornets up against a county rival in Frankfort. It was a 5-set match, and I mean, it was awesome from start to finish.
It was a great match. Rossville, we said it multiple times during the broadcast, looked like a mid-season team. Frankfort did too, for that matter. They both played very, very well.
Let's take a look at our first look, brought to us by the Willow Creek Barn, where nature's beauty meets rustic elegance. Playing your happily ever after at thewillowcreekbarn.com. You see Carroll there on your screen on the left. They're 0-2 versus Rossville a season ago. They were just 5-26 in what has been a kind of a rebuild here at Carroll High School, 3-5 in conference play. However, head coach Allison Richardson was an assistant last year. She's at the helm now, first year, and she's familiar with volleyball in this area because she's a 2008 grad from Clinton Central. On the other side for Rossville, we talked about this on Tuesday. They won sectionals last year. Great regular season, finished third in conference play, and they had that big 5-set win over Frankfort on Tuesday night. And that is your first look at tonight's matchup. These two teams obviously very familiar with each other. Talking with Coach Richardson this week leading up to this one for Carroll, Laura, she said, we're just trying to get the interest back in the program. We want the girls to have fun. And that was what is most important to her. They've got the numbers that have returned a year ago. They couldn't even field a JV team. This year, plenty of turnout, a lot of players playing again. It seems like the joy's back in the game.
And that really has to be how it starts, right? You have to get kids who want to play volleyball and get out there, and it has to be fun. No one wants to be a part of something that's not enjoyable. So I think she's taking the right approach to this, and the fact that they were able to field a JV team this year in just 1 year, I mean, change that in 1 year is really pretty remarkable, and hopefully bodes well for them in the future.
Let's take a look at our Healthy Communities keys to victory, where healthy habits lead to game day success. Laura, your keys.
Yeah, so I think both teams need to limit their unforced errors. We're early in the season here. That's really easy to just not be quite fine-tuned yet. So really limiting those unforced errors. No, very few serving errors, very few hitting errors. I think that's one of the keys to victory. I think an aggressive and diverse offense, not just setting your number one hitter on the outside. It's early. You've got to mix things up and see who else can step up to the plate for your team.
Those are our keys to the match. We'll step aside for the national anthem. When we come back, we'll get your players to watch, your X Factor, and your starting lineups right here on ISC.
If you haven't signed up for Mintel Fiber Optic Internet from Mulberry Telecommunications, then you're missing out. We have various packages to choose from and speeds up to a gig. Not to mention each package includes a Wi-Fi 6 wireless router and access to our Mintel Smart Home app, giving you complete control of your network backed by our award-winning customer service. Go ahead and dance till your heart's content in whatever reality you want, even if it's virtual. Mulberry Telecommunications offering the best gig in town. Sign up today at Mintel.net and experience the Mintel difference. Attention all engaged couples. Discover why the Willow Creek Barn has been voted the Knott's Best of Weddings for 4 years straight. Nestled just outside of Frankfort, Indiana, our venue offers stunning indoor and outdoor ceremony options with breathtaking photo opportunities. We provide the perfect backdrop for your dream barn wedding. To start planning your unforgettable day, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com. Willow Creek Barn, where nature's beauty meets rustic elegance.
Frankfort Eagles 976, serving with the community since 1905. With over 900 members locally, Frankfort Eagles offers something for everyone. Golf leagues, bingo, concerts, kid parties, cookouts, and more. For more information on who we are and what we do, visit FOE.com or stop by Frankfort Eagles at 408 North Main Street, Frankfort, Indiana.
Welcome you back here to Rossville High School, the site of tonight's IHSAA girls volleyball matchup between the Carroll Cougars and the Rossville Hornets. Let's take a look at our player to watch tonight, brought to us by the ISC Sports Network, where local lives here. And we're going to eat a little bit of crow, Laura, because Tori Fadness, you see wearing jersey number 6 on the screen, she had a jersey change the other night that we weren't made aware of. So therefore, we gave a player of the game to Kendall McCullough, and it wasn't Kendall. It was actually Tori who played so well. So tonight, she's our player to watch.
And that's why we're really impressed with Kendall. Yeah, so Tori did a great job leading that offense on Tuesday night, and if she continues to play tonight like she did the other night, I think the Cougars will have a hard time stopping the Hornets tonight.
You see her numbers on the season from a year ago highlighted by those assists and digs, and she was doing a lot of that the other night on Tuesday, now that we know that it was her.
Yeah.
Let's look at our starting lineups for the Carroll Cougars, brought to us by Ardente Dental, where healthy smiles start here. Tristan Harder, Kennedy Schuler, Alexis Yeakley, Maddie Isley, Haley Randolph, and Elle Myers for head coach Allison Richardson. Speaking of Miss Haley Randolph, she's our X Factor here tonight. It's a good look at her stats from a season ago, 232 attempts, 57 kills, but what stands out are the blocks. She was not the focal point of the offense a year ago, but she was definitely a focal point of their defense.
Absolutely, and I think this year she'll take much more of a leadership role in that offense. But what they really want her is to continue to be that first line of defense and blocking, right? Not let those balls get through, at least get touches on them and deflect them so that it makes the job of the back row a lot easier.
Like our X Factor, Tier 1 meat companies, American-made, farm-raised, and battle-tested. Find out more at tier1meatco.com. Our starting lineups now for the Rossville Hornets. Just like the other night, Addie Gorbett, Ava Burkle, Addie Gurgili, Tori Fadness, Allie Neubauer, Cabry Bogan, and the libero, Cassie Schoon, for head coach Lexi Ellenwood.
And I want to point out the other night, we were really impressed with their freshmen.
Yeah.
2 freshmen in that starting lineup, and they both played fantastic.
Yeah, Blair Wellman passed the eye test in game number 1. I almost put her as a player to watch tonight. I almost had her in there as an X Factor. But I decided, you know what? It was one game. I'm going to pump the brakes. I'm liking the hype train, but I want to be sure. And I know Blair is going to show up again here tonight.
And I was impressed with Casey Schoon in that libero position, too. Defense was great, but her serve reception was fantastic on Tuesday night. And that's really what gets your offense started.
Our officials tonight brought to us by Day and Gitna Funeral Homes, Dave Heron and Roger Nelson. Those 2 gentlemen will have the call here this evening. I know the officials from the other night got a pretty good match to call. There was some crowd letting them hear it a little bit here and there from both sides, but I felt like they did a great job of keeping the peace in what was a heated battle.
That's what always happens with those county rivalries, and that one was a close one. So you're always going to expect some debated calls when it's that close.
As they get lineup set, see Coach Richardson talking with the officials. Want to thank our ISC crew tonight, Elijah Mash, our director, Sam Wall on graphics, and Justin Eckenbarger. Dusting off the rust, coming out of retirement, running the camera for us tonight at Rossville. Good look at both of these teams. Number 2, number 3 right there on your screen, that's Gorbett and Burkle. Those 2 you got to pay attention to there on the front line. Burkle's moved to the middle this year. Lefty, she did a nice job being in position the other night. I thought while they didn't take the big hitters out of the game for Frankfort, they did a good job of making them work, right? They couldn't just wind up and swing every time.
Absolutely, especially in that first and second game. I felt like that they really did a good job of setting or kind of taking out the big hit for those outside hitters of Frankfort.
First point of the match tonight on our Healthy Communities of Clinton County scoreboard will go to the Rossville Hornets. Home team starts out with the early lead. Nice overhand low trajectory serve, and difficult dig there on the pass from Carroll leads to another point for Rossville. That sends Fadness back to the service line once again. That one off the hands of Myers. A quick 3-0 lead now for the Hornets. You see Carroll on the season, 0-5 record so far. Again, trying to find their way under first-year head coach Allison Richardson. That serve a little too strong. That'll give Carroll their first point of the match.
Carroll's going to have to limit those unforced errors. Both of those passing errors probably shouldn't have occurred. They should have been getting that ball up at least in a playable area.
Maddie Isley to serve for the Carroll Cougars. Maddie was a part of that sectional championship team from a year ago for girls basketball. Just a freshman, but she had a standout year a year ago. And so far, she's going to come in here as a sophomore and handle the setting duties for this Carroll Cougar squad. Gorbett back to serve for Rossville. Missed swing there. That was Tristan Harder.
It was a nice set, though. That wasn't a perfect pass, but it was playable. Like we were talking about earlier, that's a much better pass than they had in the first couple of serves.
5-1 early lead here. Randolph can't get enough on that one there. Another point for the Hornets. One of your keys to victory, Laura, was unforced errors. We've seen quite a few so far here for the Carroll Cougars, and there's one from the Rossville Hornets.
Yeah. Unfortunately, 6 of Rossville's points, 4 of them are on Carroll's unforced errors. And it's just hard to win games when you have that many unforced errors.
Number 7, Lila Humphreys comes in, as well as number 10, Eliza Reinhardt. Recognize the Reinhardt name. She was on that basketball squad a year ago as well. Got transferred into Carroll and became a key part of their basketball team. Now playing some volleyball here as well. Great job at the net that time. That was number 11, Allie Neubauer, the senior. Just took that overplay and dumped it right back across the other side of the net.
That was a good job of taking it with both hands. It's so tempting when those overpasses are coming to go up and swing big. I mean, it's like a big watermelon up there. You just want to bust it, and it's so fun to do that. But really the safe route is really to take 2 hands to it and put that ball down in a hole.
This portion of our broadcast brought to us by our friends at Tier 1 Meat Company. At Tier 1 Meat Co., we take pride in delivering locally sourced premium beef and pork, the kind of meat that honors the land, respects the craft, and fuels family with real flavor. From custom processing to mission-ready catering, we bring the firepower to elevate every meal and every moment. Founded by veterans, every cut is elite and every customer is family. Step into Tier 1 at 128 West Catherine Street in Flora, or visit us online at tier1meatco.com. 8-2 early lead here for the Hornets this Thursday night. Big swing there was Wellman. Put a little too much on that one. She was asking for the tip, not going to get the call here. But you can see why we and they are so high on Blair Wellman.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't see freshmen take swings like that.
You don't, and those deep hitting errors are something you can live with as long as she's having more kills than she is errors. That's something you'll take out of a freshman.
They set, they come back to Wellman here. Powers through, and you saw the block try to be there by Reinhardt, but the power from Wellman. Once again, good grief. Get out of the way. That's what I would do anyway. I would be afraid to get peppered.
I love the confidence, right?
That serve long gives a point back to the Cougars.
You don't see her. A lot of times you see freshmen, they're being careful. They don't want to mess up, right? But not her. She just goes up and swings away. She does a nice job.
Alexis Yeakley checks back in, one of the seniors here for the Carroll Cougars. And she earns the point. 9-5 Bankers hours. Our score now. Yeakley, one of 3 seniors on this Carroll Cougars roster. A huge youth movement. I mean, when you look down even through the JV, there are a lot of freshmen. That bodes well for the future of the program. Obviously, as we spoke earlier, Laura, you want to get the numbers back up. That's first and foremost. Get the girls having fun again. Bring the interest back to the program, and then the quality of play will develop.
It will. And volleyball is one of those sports you have to have numbers, right? You have to have a good solid 10 to 12 on varsity and 10 to 12 to run a JV program. And this year they really were able to do that with this influx of freshmen that they have.
Blair Wellman again with the huge kill. Big power swing went right down the line, and now she's going to check out. Quick dab before she does. Man, that girl just has too much fun.
She does.
The other night I made comments about her just smiling from ear to ear. The entire time she's out there is like zero pressure.
Yeah, and so relaxed, right? It was just so nice to see.
Another kill, this one from Neubauer.
That was a great set, way to diversify that offense.
Powerful overhand serve, low trajectory there. That was a tough one to play. It was up around the shoulder area.
It was. That was a good serve.
This serve into the net.
That's already 3 serving errors for Rossville in this first set. And I think Coach Shriver will definitely want that number to come down.
Liza Reinhardt at the service line. We come back to Gorbett. And Gorbett's got some power. With Gorbett able to swing the way she does, with Neubauer on the front line, with Wellman swinging the way she does, man, Rossville as a team that won sectionals last year, I think they're more dangerous this year.
I would agree. And, Ava Burkle did a nice job up there, too, especially for her first time in the middle. More blocking than hitting, but she did a really nice job up there. I mean, they are very capable of, going 5 hitters deep. I mean, that's very impressive, especially when a couple of those players are young.
It makes it really hard to know where to put your blocks when everybody can kill.
Absolutely. That was a nice dig by Carroll.
Yeah, great job by the Cougars here to fight. And a nice recovery from the Hornets. Coach Richardson said she thought their offense had gotten better. They were coming along. There's a good block at the net. That was Randolph and Isley.
I think Carroll looks so improved from last year already. And, we're just early in this season. Has to be exciting for the Cougars.
Yeah, last year they were very one-dimensional. They had Tegan Coveris, and that was where the ball went a lot. And, that was because I think the rest of the team was kind of leaning on her and looking at her to help find some offense. And now it definitely looks more like a team concerted effort. As we get another timeout here, 15-7. Rossville leads Carroll. This portion of our broadcast brought to us by the Frankfurt Eagles, Post 976. Serving the community since 1905 with over 900 members locally, the Frankfurt Eagles offer something for everyone. For more information on who they are and what they do, please visit FOE.com or stop by the Frankfurt Eagles at 408 North Main Street in Frankfurt.
The rally that happened right before the timeout, that was a long rally, the longest one of the match so far. I don't know that Carroll was capable last year of that many chances at playing the ball without committing an error, right? And that didn't end on their error. So it was a great job by Carroll. I'm really excited about where they are going for the future.
Allie Neubauer to serve here for the Hornets. We talked about that match the other night against Frankfurt and how good it was. Rossville took the first two sets, 25-20, 25-23. They were close and competitive. Frankfurt rallied back, and I think 3 and 4 were very close to the same scores. And then a 15-13 final set in 5.
Yeah, it was a crazy good match. I mean, you know, we talk all the time that volleyball's about momentum, and obviously Rossville had it at the beginning, and Frankfurt had it in the middle, but at the end it could have been anyone's game. It was a great hit there by Ava Burkle. With her being left-handed out of that middle, they can run her really diversely across that front net, have her hitting in different spots. I love the way that she's running that offense right now.
Eliana Myers that time did a nice job of just getting out of the way and letting that one land out of bounds. Carroll trails by 8. Maddie Isley back to the service line. Maddie just a sophomore. Great athlete. Doing some research today. She represented the Carroll County 4-H in the Queen contest as well.
Well-rounded student. We have Blair Wellman back in for the Hornets.
Randolph punches this one over. And Rossville does the same. Kaylin Pinisetti. So many seniors on this Rossville roster.
I'm looking right now, and there's at least 5 players with 1 kill for the Hornets. That's exactly what you want to do, exactly how you want to run your offense.
That serve there off the right shoulder of Myers. Another point for the Hornets, 19-9. Good to see Gorbett back playing healthy. Not to jump ahead in this high school year, but I'm excited to see her back on the basketball floor as well.
Yeah, she's such a good all-around athlete. She did play almost the entire season last year with a shoulder injury.
Burkle that time uses the left hand, punches it back corner. Gets another kill here for the Hornets.
And last year they didn't even let Gorbett serve hardly ever. You know, anything they could do to save that shoulder, they had somebody come in and play. So to see her back there and they're confident, they're not even trying to rest that shoulder, that speaks volumes.
Another point here for Rossville as they open up a 21-9 lead now. Mulberry Telecommunications want to be the first to welcome you to the Fiberhood. Mintel Fiber Optic Services offer super fast, reliable internet with gigabit speeds, streaming TV packages, and voice solutions. Sign up today at mintel.net or call 296-2885 for more information. Another ace there for Gorbett.
And another.
And another is her stat line. Improving by the second here.
And really, prior to her serving, this was a match that was in reach for, or a set in reach for Carroll, but Gorbett's just really dominated on that service line.
They go back to Wellman. Wellman, that caught the back part of the line. It's called in. I know the Carroll fans didn't like it. I thought from first glance it definitely looked like it caught part of that in line.
It looked in here, and certainly that line judge has the best viewpoint of that. She's standing right there.
Set point. Rossville looking to take a 1-0 lead here. And our best of 5. Run the set. They go back to Wellman. Wellman hammers it home, 25-9, the final. Rossville
take set number 1 over Carroll. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, more volleyball heads your way on the ISC Sports Network.
And little volley, oh my goodness, what a touch for the goal. Jumped over by Lawrence North, and they'll score on it. Oh my goodness, give it to him. Rolls through the lane, and he ducks him. Oh my goodness.
Healthy Communities of Clinton County is committed to reduce the risk factors contributing to chronic disease, including health disparities by decreasing stigma and encouraging positive changes. HCCC is here for the community with systems of care navigators, insurance assistance, prenatal classes, mental health programs, substance use prevention, and more. To help make the healthy choice the easy choice, contact us at 659-6063 or through our website, healthyclintoncounty.org.
Day and Ginda Funeral Home, proudly putting family first, strives to care and honor the families of Clinton and Carroll County in ways that share the loved one's story. In our effort to serve your family at the highest of quality, we have added our own crematories, one for your loved one and another crematory for your furry family members. Contact us for information on how we can serve your family. Day and Ginda Funeral Home, putting family first.
Welcome back here to Carroll High School. Rossville takes set number 1, 25-9. Set number 2 tonight brought to us by our friends at the Willow Creek Barn. Attention all engaged couples. Discovered by the Willow Creek Barn has been voted the Knott's Best of Weddings for 4 years straight. Nestled just outside of Frankfort, Indiana, the venue offers stunning indoor and outdoor ceremony options with breathtaking photo opportunities, providing the perfect backdrop for your dream barn wedding. To start planning your unforgettable day, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com. Laura, we saw set 1 come and go. Rossville looked very dominant once again. We were surprised the other night. Now, again, in air, I couldn't find a score from the West Lafayette game. They dropped in straight sets to West Lafayette the night before that they played Frankfort. Didn't find anything out there about that. So we thought the Frankfort match was their first one of the season. Frankfort match ended up being their first win of the season. But, man, the fact that they are playing so tight-knit already and they're in match number 3, just, again, it's a scary thought of thinking if this team stays healthy, they continue to gel, these kids continue to buy in, Lexi Ellenwood's going to have probably another sectional championship to hang and maybe can make a deeper run in the tournament as well. And I know that it's a way too early, prognosis, but just from what I'm seeing, the eye test is there for Rossville.
It is, and what I love is she's getting a ton of players involved. This is what we talked about, the keys to the match, and one of the things we said was an aggressive, diverse offense, and that is what they've had. I mean, on that last point of the first set, yes, Blair Wellman got this great hard hit, but she got it because she only had one isolated blocker, because we had Ava Burkle faking a one in the middle, and she kept that blocker with her the whole time. If you let Blair Wellman hit against one blocker, she's going to get kills all night long. So diversifying that offense so those blockers have no idea where that setter's going is going to be the key to long-term success and going farther in the tournament this year.
You can tell they have fun playing for Coach Ellenwood as well. They just, Neubauer just came off the floor and they did a jump-up high five. Now, Coach Ellenwood's going to have to be careful because as we start to get older, and she's still young, you got to worry about injury, right?
Yeah.
I tell people, I joke all the time, and my wife would kill me probably for telling this story, but she was a JV cheerleading coach at one point in time, and she was trying to show the girls on the first day of practice what a Russian was. She jumped up to do the kick, came down, dislocated 2 toes in her foot, and her practice ended early that day.
Yeah, this getting old stuff's not for everybody. Once again, I was super impressed with Carroll. I mean, look at this defense right here on this play. I mean, it's just they're so improved from last year. I mean, there's 6 games in here, 6 matches in, and they're playing at a level they never reached last year. I mean,
and we thought they got a lot better from match number 1 to match number 25 or whatever it was the last time we saw them last year.
But they picked right up there, and you didn't know if they were going to do that. But I mean, they look really, really good here early for them. So I'm impressed. So that was a hitting error there, but you know what? They were being aggressive. It was a short, quick set. That's the kind of stuff you want to see Rossville working on.
Myers at the service line here for the Cougars. That one into the net. We'll give the point and the serve back to Rossville. Wellman going to check back in. Once again, we got the dab before we hit the floor. Corbett on the serve. Heisley doing her best just to get there. Man, I love the effort.
Yeah, that was great. And how about Corbett from that serving line tonight? I mean, she's just fantastic.
You know, when you look on Carroll's side of the floor, while the skill set may not be as sharp as it will be at the end of the year and as they continue to grow, the one thing I always knew when I was coaching was if my team showed up with effort, that's the one thing you can't coach, right?
Exactly.
If they bring the effort to the floor, you can teach them the fundamentals. And you can tell Carroll's got the effort. They've got some right players on this team that are going to compete every single night. And when you compete, it's contagious.
Absolutely. And you know what? Things will get fine-tuned, right? Balls will start falling your way. You'll decrease your unforced errors. And, you know, sometimes you get just that one victory, and it makes all the difference in the world. And I guess I hope that for Carroll is that they can get a victory kind of early here in the season and keep their spirits up because they are playing so much better. I don't want them to get discouraged. I mean, this defense, we never saw defense like that the entire year last year.
Oh, just long, almost snuck in a point there. And again, game of inches. That one was very close, but you applaud the effort, the way they kept the ball in play. They did not make a mistake until the very end right there, and it was by inches. What a well-placed serve there. That's a testament to Addie Corbett's ability.
Yeah. It's at least 6 aces for her already this evening. She is just on a serving roll tonight. And I told you last Tuesday night, like I at first was like, why are we starting her in the right front? She just has one rotation on the front row before she's in the back row because, you know, you typically would think you want that senior hitter going across the front all the way. But maybe this is why, because she's a really, really good server, and they certainly don't lack for offense with Blair Wellman up there in the other pin.
Free ball opportunity here for Carroll. That pass a little too strong. And now the Hornets get the free swing, and there's Ava Burkle. Great height across the front row for the Hornets, athletic ability. Able to jump, and as you said, having a left-handed hitter there in the middle. I think swinging left-handed is a different look for the defense anyway, isn't it?
It is. And, you know, when you're playing and you're a blocker, your automatic instincts to get on that right arm because 95% of the people you play are right-handed hitters. So, yeah, she's doing a good job, and Fadness is doing a good job of pushing her just inside or outside of the blocker.
Healthy Communities of Clinton County Coalition understand the important role healthcare coverage plays, pun intended, for athletes and their families. We partner with CKF to provide free expert assistance to enroll, use, and maintain affordable coverage. Our certified navigators are available to set, pun intended again, for uninsured Hoosiers as a trusted teammate, pun intended a third time. Call 1-888-975-4CKF and tell us the county where you live or work. I want to thank Laura and Healthy Communities of Clinton County for being a sponsor all season long. They will be our scoreboard sponsor all year as well here on ISC. Quick check of that scoreboard has Rossville up 10-1 here in set number 2.
Once again, though, Carroll looks good. They really do. You know, they're playing this level against most other teams this early in the season. The score is not 11-1, right? There's not a lot of stuff hitting the floor. They're getting their hands on things. I mean, they're doing a really nice job.
Good job by Isley there at the net to fight for it, keep it alive.
Yeah, and how about that dig by the freshman, libero Cassie Schoon, for the Hornets. That was an amazing one-handed scoop up there.
Wellman pushes this one at Isley. Gets the point. Didn't have to free swing there, just kind of pushed it across.
And if you're Carroll, you got to be glad to have Addie Gorbett off the serving line, right? That's the stuff you don't want to do. That's just a miscommunication. You want somebody to be your leader there, be aggressive, call that off and take it over.
Yeah,
that's one of those.
Elizabeth Dyer and Haley Randolph both converging on that one that time and both looking at each other to be the aggressor. Pair of substitutions going to take place for the Cougars. Burkle's going to check out for the Cougars. Reinhardt comes back in as Carroll's on the serve here. That's Lila Humphreys, the sophomore. What a quick set, and then great timing there from Allie Neubauer.
Yeah, I love that. Once again, just a little past the middle blocker, but not quite out to that outside blocker. She had a huge hole right there, and all she had to do was just find the floor.
Rossville showing us how many different ways you can hit the ball, set the ball, set up a teammate, and come away with points. We've seen power swings. We've seen dinks. We've seen pushes.
Yep.
Quick sets.
Yeah, it's really nice. I mean, their offense is a well-oiled machine right now.
Number 12, Bridget Gokenauer coming in. Junior seeing her first action here tonight. That serve. Wide of the floor. Now a substitution as Wellman comes out. This will be Addie Gurgili.
They've only had 2 chances to serve in this whole match, and they've missed both of them. I mean, it's hard to win if you can't serve the ball over the net.
Good offensive turn this time from Carroll. Get another swing on it here. Hornets recovered. They go to Gorbett. Good block at the net. That's the freshman in Elizabeth Dyer that got the block, got the swing. There it is again, but can't keep it in play. Credit the effort.
You expect a pretty well-oiled machine with Rossville having 7 seniors on their roster, but it's very interesting that those freshmen are playing just as big a role as those seniors are. And that, I mean, I think for the long run is going to be very, very helpful for Rossville. And Coach Shriver's getting tons and tons of players in. That's good.
That one lands on the floor in front of the Cougars, now 18-4. That'll keep Gurgili at the service line for Rossville. Head coach Lexi Ellenwood in her second full season at the helm. She had about half to 3/4 of a season at the helm as an interim coach. It was kind of a whirlwind situation where she was thrust into a role that I won't say wasn't prepared for, because she did a great job in her first half season.
Wasn't what she signed up for, but she definitely did an amazing job.
She impressed me so much in that interim year that I sent athletic director Nate Burkle a message about Lexi and said, I don't know if she's up for the job. I don't even know if she wants the job. But I was so impressed with what she did with your team this year that I hope you guys are giving her a good long look, and by golly, they did, and it's paid dividends so far.
It has. She is doing an amazing job.
Of course, these coaching staffs, you know, the head coaches rely heavily on their assistants. There's so many girls on the teams, right? You've got varsity ball, JV ball, and some even have a C team or a freshman team that goes around and plays as well. And so it takes a lot. So Coach Ellenwood, her varsity assistant Kelsey Hall, the JV coach Alexis Brown, Maggie, I'm probably going to butcher her last name, Voisin, Ann Beard, and Liz Latshaw, all putting in some work there for the Rossville Hornets. And on the other side, Coach Richardson said the same thing. She said, I am so happy to have my assistant coach, Megan McGrew, who is a Rossville grad, by the way. We need to throw that out there.
Yes, she is.
They played against each other
in
as
high
county
school.
rivals.
Yes.
And now they get to, play on the same team here and try to rebuild this Carroll volleyball.
That was a nice little block by Ava Burkle there.
And I'm with you, Laura. I don't think that this, and I hate to use the word rebuild, especially with high school students, but I don't think this rebuild, this retool, this rekindling, whatever you want to call it, is going to take very long for Carroll. I know they're down big right now here in set number 2, but the fact that the numbers are back, you can see the athletes on the floor. You've got a coaching staff who wants to be here. They're invested. I don't think this is going to take very long, and Carroll's going to be right back to competing.
I agree, and
stringing
honestly,
together lots of wins.
they have not played bad tonight. Rossville's just playing better. I mean, like I said, Carroll playing this level against other teams, and they'd be right in the thick of it, right? I mean,
and the cool thing about our coverage here on ISC is we're going to see Carroll a lot this season. This is our first look at them this year.
I'm excited for that because they're already playing at a level they never reached last year.
We'll get to see Carroll, Frankfort, Rossville, Clinton Prairie, Clinton Central, all those teams a lot. And then you splash in Delphi and some of the other surrounding areas. And we've got a full slate of matches headed your way here on ISC from this volleyball season.
That's the one area I think Carroll could really improve on is serving. They've had lots and lots of serving errors tonight. And not a lot of opportunity to serve. So when you don't have many opportunity, you have to take advantage when you get it.
Set Wellman somehow stays out of the net. No, she ended up in it. She did her best. It was a light whistle. I won't say a late whistle. It was a light whistle. I heard it. (23-8). I serve wide of the floor. Again, to your point, Laura, there's the struggle tonight, right? They're doing a good job when the ball's in play of playing defense. It's the service line tonight that's hurting them.
Yeah, it is. It's killing them. And in this match, especially, they've missed half their serves. You can't compete if you don't serve over the net.
That one drops in between a couple of players. Another point for Rossville. Set point here now on the serve of Ava Burkle. The lefty puts it into play. That was a good, powerful swing from Dyer. Wellman a little too strong here, not touched. 24-10 Carroll, couple of substitution. Tonight's game brought to you by Day and Ginda Funeral Home with locations in Frankfort, Flora, Mulberry, and Rossville. The staff at Day and Ginda Funeral Home are dedicated to providing a loving and genuine environment for you to honor your loved one. For more information, visit dayandginda.com. Day and Ginda Funeral Homes, where we put family first. And there is the 25th point as that one lands on the Carroll side of the net. 25-10, Rossville
takes a commanding 2-0 lead here in this best of 5 match tonight on ISC. We'll take a break. When we come back, set 3 heads your way.
At Wampler's Disposal and Recycling, we take pride in offering waste management for commercial and residential clients. As an industry leader, Wampler's Disposal and Recycling brings the most professional and responsive collection service in the business. Since 1948, our family-owned and operated company has provided excellent service at competitive rates. We offer container rentals as well. Our longevity in the industry is a testament to our excellent service. We serve all of Clinton, Tippecanoe, Boone, Howard, and Carroll counties. For all your waste removal needs, call Wampler Services Incorporated today. You can reach us at 765-659-3721. Visit us online at wamplerservicesinc.com.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
At Mulberry Telecommunications, it doesn't matter whether you play from home, learn from home, or work from home. We have you covered with fiber-fast internet. Whether you video chat to stay connected with friends and family, or operate a small business, you can do so with the reliability that Mulberry Telecommunications fiber internet provides. From streaming video to regular web surfing, the possibilities really are endless. And that's a reason for all of us to celebrate. Packages start at just $49.95. Visit mintel.net to sign up today. Attention all engaged couples. Discover why the Willow Creek Barn has been voted the Knott's Best of Weddings for 4 years straight. Nestled just outside of Frankfort, Indiana, our venue offers stunning indoor and outdoor ceremony options with breathtaking photo opportunities. We provide the perfect backdrop for your dream barn wedding. To start planning your unforgettable day, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com. Willow Creek Barn, where nature's beauty meets rustic elegance.
Welcome you back here on the ISC Sports Network. Rossville with a 2-0 lead over the Carroll Cougars, 25-9, 25-10. This part of our broadcast tonight brought to us by Wampler's Disposal Service and Recycling. Wampler's is a place where recycling always makes sense. Please call Wampler's at 659-3721 for all your trash, recycling, and scrap needs. Wampler's Disposal Service and Recycling, family owned since 1948. 4 football games headed your way live tomorrow night across the ISC Sports Network. Burbuff at North Central, South Putnam versus North Putnam, Center Grove versus Warren Central, a couple of top 5 ranked teams, and Lawrence Central at Lawrence North.
So not only good teams,
games,
yeah, and not only a lot of highly ranked teams, but also lots of rivalries there.
Right there in week number 1, kicking off here on ISC. And then next week we'll get some local coverage of local football as Clinton Prairie will be at Frankfort. You can watch that one live on ISC. We'll have Cascade at Danville and many others. Excited about volleyball. Next week we get to see the Clinton Prairie Gophers on Monday. They take on Benton Central, which is usually a pretty good matchup between 2 storied programs.
Yep. Clinton Prairie's young this year. I think, you know, they're going to have ups and downs. They're going to be inconsistent, and that's okay. You know, as long as they're getting a little bit better every set, and, you know, they'll eventually pull out some of those close matches. But I think it's going to be rough going for them early.
That first ball into the net for Rossville and Carroll with a 1-0 lead here in set number 3. Myers back to the service line. That serve into the net, a service error for the Cougars, ties things up at 1.
A lot of height on that front row right now for the Hornets.
Randolph, and there's a good look.
The pass went right to the setter. Isley sets Randolph. Randolph uses the height and power.
Little
Big
surprised that Rossville went with one blocker there. We haven't got a chance. They haven't hit out of the middle a lot tonight, so we haven't had a chance to see if they're changing up their blocking patterns or somebody just got faked out there.
Free ball opportunity now for the Cougars.
Because they were blocking 2 against Frankfurt all night.
Set from Neubauer goes to Pinisetti. Dug out by the Cougars. And that one hits the floor in front of a diving Eliana Myers. Rossville make a substitution here as Gokenauer comes back into the game. She's going to get an opportunity to serve here.
See Rossville making some lineup changes, getting some players in that haven't maybe played a lot. They missed that substitution.
Wellman was trying to check out there for Bogan. Gokenauer's serve just a little too strong. They may have iced their own server
They
right
might
there.
have.
3-2, Carroll with the 1-point lead, and Lila Humphreys and Reinhardt will check back in here. Liza will head to the front row. Humphreys goes to the service line. It's a pretty big swing from Bogan, who just checked in. She earns the point for Rossville. All knotted up at 3. Said it the other night, it's hard to believe that the high school season is already upon us. Feels like this year is just flying by. It's about to be September.
I feel that way
Christmas
every
was just
year.
here.
I feel that way every
My
year.
pocketbook has not recovered from last Christmas yet. That one a little long. Volleyball fans, make sure you tune in next Wednesday night. You can see the Marion Knights volleyball team go up against IU Columbus right here on the ISCSportsNetwork.com. Our YouTube pages, Twitter.
Nice dig. And there's that communication error again. You hate that after you get such a great dig.
Speaking of college, Wednesday night I said we've got college volleyball. Thursday night we've got one of the biggest college matchups in the state of Indiana as UIndy and Marion rekindle the monumental matchup on the football field. Those two schools will face off on Thursday night. That one's scheduled for a 6 p.m. kick. We'll also have Clinton Prairie at Carroll that night. For you volleyball fans, we'll get to see these Carroll Cougars once again a week from tonight.
So that's 6 different players with at least 1 kill for the Hornets now. Doesn't get much better than that.
Now that's spreading the love around right there for sure.
Especially when they're running a 5-1 offense, meaning that there's only 5 hitters and 1 setter going all the way around. To have 6 players with a kill, that's pretty amazing.
And that's a credit to Tori Fatness, is it not? I mean, her setting ability, just making sure she's getting everybody involved. There's quarterbacks in the NFL that can't spread the ball around to all their wide receivers as well as she's doing it to her hitters here.
You are correct. And she has more targets, so.
Making sure everybody eats here tonight. That serve into the net. Now Fadness will check out. That's going to bring in Kendall McCullough, number 10. There's Kendall. We tried to give Kendall a lot of love the other night.
We gave her tons of love. We were really impressed with her.
We found out that Tori's jersey was damaged. She wasn't able to wear it. They were in their red uniforms the other night. And so they had to do a quick change. And Coach Ellenwood said, I am so sorry. That's on me. I didn't even think about telling you guys that a change had been made.
And in person, it's different. We maybe could have seen, but from the studio, it's hard to tell sometimes. Nice serve.
Good serve. And, man, Maddie Isley's going to have some floor burns here tonight. She is putting in some work, diving after loose balls. Timeout taken on the floor. At Healthy Communities of Clinton County Coalition, they understand the important role healthcare coverage plays for athletes and their families. Partner with CKF to provide free expert assistance to enroll, use, and maintain affordable coverage. Our certified navigators are available to set, pun intended, for uninsured Hoosiers as a trusted teammate. Once again, pun intended. Call 1-888-975-4CKF and tell them the county where you live or work. I want to thank all of our sponsors here on ISC this evening, making these games possible. While we have your attention too, both of these communities have access to Mintel Fiber Optics. Mulberry wants to welcome you to the Fiberhood. Mintel Fiber Optic Services offer super fast, reliable internet with gigabit speeds, streaming TV packages, and voice solutions. Sign up today at mintel.net or call 296-2885 for more information.
And Rossville, once again, going deep. They have a freshman back there at the service line, had an ace a little bit ago, so impressive. The third freshman they've had on the court tonight.
And they're certainly not playing like it.
No, you wouldn't even know.
That serve hits the top of the day. I always said if you could figure out how to do that every time, you might be the best volleyball player ever.
Yeah, for sure. It's a little more luck than talent, so.
That served just a little higher that time. Good offensive set here for Carroll, and it leads to a point. And they're showing off one of their freshmen. Elizabeth Dyer on the kill. Carroll shows a little bit there when they get a clean serve receive and they get the ball to Isley. She makes a nice set.
Yeah, and you know, Carroll's young too. You know, we haven't talked about that very much, but they are playing two freshmen and two sophomores the majority of time. So, you know, we talk about their future. It looks bright for them. That was a nice play out of the net.
Just three seniors on the roster for the Cougars. We've seen two of them on the floor tonight. But to your point, freshmen, sophomores, and juniors are what we've seen in rotation. And quite a few players getting playing time, and you know, that's a testament. We said that the other night too, Laura. It's early in the season. You're trying to figure out what that rotation is going to be. You're trying to put players in positions to see how they'll respond. We'll see both of these coaching staffs probably tighten things up as the season goes along and they get closer to the tournament.
Absolutely.
time.
You won't see this many substitutions. You won't see them trying new things, putting people in different positions, running different lineups. They'll fine-tune it as they go along, but this is exactly what that preseason's for.
There's an ace for the Rossville Hornets. Cabry Bogan back there at the service line. Bogan played well the other night against Frankfurt. That serve off the shoulder of Myers. Another ace.
And good job for her. She doesn't always get to serve, so they're leaving her in there, let her step back there and serve this time. She's doing a great job.
Miscommunication there from the Cougars as two players called for it, and two players both backed off.
Yeah, you know, that is maybe the big X factor that Carroll's missing is that floor general. Like somebody to just take over the game and lead the team, that coach on the floor. And I think that's probably the biggest thing that Carroll's missing because we're seeing really good skills out of them. We're seeing them play at a high level, but they don't really have that floor general out there. Fadness is that floor general, right? She's tossing that ball out to like we said, 6 different hitters. So I think they just are lacking a little bit of leadership on the court, but that'll come as the season progresses.
Having a young team like that, it takes a while sometimes for those players to have that voice grow, right? That confidence to say, hey, this is going to be my team and I'm going to lead and follow me.
Now our 7th Rossville player with a kill. That's just a great job by Fadness making a diverse offense.
Burkle at the net with the block. Timeout taken here. 19-7. The lead here is a good look inside Rossville's huddle, and entire team, look at them, all up, eyes on coach. This team is bought in. They are ready to rock and roll. This portion of our broadcast brought to us by the Frankfort Eagles, Post 976. Serving the community since 1905 with over 900 members locally, the Frankfort Eagles offer something for everyone. For more information on who they are and what they do, please visit FOE.com or stop by the Frankfort Eagles at 408 North Main Street. Also want to tell you, tonight's game is brought to us by Day and Ginda Funeral Home with locations in Frankfort, Flora, Mulberry, and Rossville. The compassionate and experienced staff at Day and Ginda Funeral Home are dedicated to providing a loving and genuine environment for you to honor your loved ones. For more information on their services and their community involvement, please visit dayandginda.com. Day and Ginda Funeral Homes, where we put family first. Isley slow to get up here. Man, she has hit the floor numerous times here tonight.
She's doing a good job for them.
And again, sometimes when maybe the vocal leadership isn't there, you start to get it through the hustle and the determination in the play.
Yeah, they certainly don't lack that, right? You'll see 3 players dive on the floor to get something, but then it'll drop between 2 players looking at each other. That's the stuff you just got to clean up, and the serving errors would be the other thing. And they're perfectly capable. This is early. This is early for them.
Myers back to serve.
And, the 0-5 record's a little deceiving because the majority of those games came in a tournament, right? And so that's
at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, and that's 2 out of 3, not 3 out of 5 sets. And so, that does throw off statistics. It does throw off a lot of things when you're looking at it, right? Yes, they played 5 matches, but those, I think 3 or 4 of them were at a tournament, so they were only 2 out of 3 games. If they, let's say they have 5 3-game matches and they all went 2, that's, Rossville got half that many games in one night, Tuesday night.
Sure.
So when you're talking sets versus matches, it can be a huge difference.
Gorbett a little strong there. We saw a nice block from her a moment ago. They gave them their 22nd point. And now Maddie Isley back to the service line. That'll bring Dyer back into the front row for Carroll.
The middles have been very, very active for Rossville today. Part of that obviously is credited to Tori Fadness, but they're also just busy. They're running fakes. They're getting out on the blocks, and that's the key to being a good middle, is being active. And both of the middles for Rossville today have done an amazing job.
Bridget Gokenauer now to serve. Rossville needing just 2 points to seal up the match here this evening. Free ball opportunity. Good pass. Big swing from Burkle. This time they go to Pinisetti. She earns the point here for the Hornets. Match point.
She's also played very good today. She's had at least 5 kills out of that right side, but I'm telling you, when I just look down and I'm looking at all these statistics, it's so evenly matched, and that goes to the setting of Tori Fadness.
And that will end the match tonight on the ace from the junior Bridget Gokenauer. Rossville takes it in 3 straight sets, 25-9, 25-10, 25-9. Rossville victorious here in this one. Laura, before we hand out our post-game hardware, your final thoughts on this one?
Well, I think it's worth mentioning that Carroll looked much improved, and this score isn't really reflective of the level that they played at. Rossville just dominated because of the diversity of their offense and how well they played. There were lots of long rallies, but it just seemed like everyone went Rossville's way.
And this could have been a toss-up. I mean, literally roll the dice, and whatever number you land on matches up to the number for the player of the match tonight. But we're going to go with Allie Neubauer, number 11 from Rossville. Played absolutely fantastic here tonight for the Hornets. And, again, a toss-up for pretty much any of them because she just played well in that middle. She had blocks. She had kills.
Yeah.
Keeping balls alive.
It was really honestly, it was the diversity of the offense makes the Hornets so dangerous. But those middles being so active, and you saw just in those replays running different types of sets, that throws the defense of the other team off. And those middles, both Ava Burkle and Allie Neubauer were just fantastic in the middle tonight.
You expect to get the play that we got from Gorbett and even Fadness now, right, as a junior. You're starting to expect this. Neubauer comes in. If she gives you points like that, if Burkle gives you points like she did, if Pinisetti does, and again, these are all seniors as well, it just makes Rossville really hard to try to plan for. Who do you take? You can't take anything away.
Right. Who do you say you're gonna focus on? You would have to focus on every single player, and as the opposing coach, that's impossible to do. Maybe you focus on Fadness because she does such a good job at diversifying the offense.
Hats off to both teams here tonight. Again, Rossville takes it in 3 straight sets. That's going to do it for our coverage on the ISC Sports Network. Football Friday night kicks off all across Indiana. You can tune into ISC Sports Network tomorrow night. We will have 4 live games headed your way. Again, check our schedule. We've got a bunch of volleyball headed your way next week as well. For Laura Archibald and everyone behind the scenes at ISC, I'm Sean Walker. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great night.
I brought you a present. A book.
Follow the adventures of the Ardente Dental team as they fight cavities, gum disease, and create beautiful, healthy smiles.
Inconceivable. Hello, my name is Dr. Snyder. You cause cavities. Prepare to die. Inconceivable. To make your smile look straight and fine, our braces per month are just $1.99. Inconceivable.
You keep using that word, I do not think it means what you think it means.